Hey collective, how y'all doing? I'm so happy to see you guys again. I'm so glad to see you all. Um, Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Coded Intuition. The intention is set for positive growth, for movement, and self-healing. That's just what it is over here. Y'all already know what it is. As y'all can see from my setup, I got something to talk about, right? Grab this bag. I don't know why this bag is just irritating me over there. But anyway, in the prior readings that I did, I referenced the purple stone often. And in that first reading where I referenced the purple stone, y'all know that the purple stone just been resonating and sitting out. And I said, it's something about that purple stone. And in my mind, I know the first purple stone that I thought of that came to mind, honestly, it was two that came to mind almost simultaneously, which was the amethyst and the moonstone. But the moonstone, I kind of, like dismissed that one because most of the times when you have colorful moonstones, that's it's been dyed. It's a genuine moonstone, but it's been colored. But the amethyst is naturally purple. So just because in the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself, there's probably countless other stones that come in hues of purple. So let me just go ahead and do a search right quick on purple stone, period. And I did that. And honestly, the result came back. It was like a bare minimum amount of stones that come in purple hues according to that particular engine search I did. But three of them that stood out to me, three of them that I know that I have within immediate reach, was the amethyst, the fluorite, and the moonstone. I got amethyst and fluorite out here to show y'all what the purple stone look like. But it's interesting because I got this deck of cards, this Soul Helper Oracle deck, that in the cards, at the end in the book, it gives you a set of helpers that you can utilize through like a 29-day journey that you can work with to help you focus on and balance yourself and achieve your desired outcome or whatever. And I was expecting in the booklet for there to be more, just like an abundance of stones that end up, resonating in the purple stone family. But to my surprise, it was only one card that reflected a purple stone, and that was the card that reflects the amethyst stone. So I pulled out, I had these stones readily on hand like this because I did start making jewelry, and so I only use I ain't gonna say only use gemstones, but that's my gemstone chips. That's what I like to use mostly. Now this is a purple amethyst. Well, I'm just gonna call it an amethyst because that's what it is, but it's purple. This is a B grade amethyst, and the different letters indicate the different quality of the stone. Okay. When purple stone came up in that first reading that I did the other day, this is like almost exactly the type of stone that I was picturing. I'm trying to get this like in the angle of light so y'all can see. It's almost translucent. It is, somewhat translucent, but then there's some opaque spots in it. But it's like royally purple. It's like a very deep and rich purple color. Okay. That's the stone that I was picturing. But it was a bigger stone, like more like a ball shaped stone. But then I was surprised, I don't know why, I was surprised to see fluorite on the list, because I do know that fluorite, you can get fluorite. Fluorite comes in a vast array of colors. And you can get the purple fluorite, you know, and you'll have so many different hues of purple in that particular gemstone. But this is just rainbow fluorite. And you can see the purple in there. Fluorite is one of the purple stones. And this right here, I don't know, I think this is like a C grade material. I don't know, it may even be a B grade, but it kind of feels like a C grade. It's heavy. It may be a B grade, but I'm looking at the transparency of it. But I get my gemstones from a warehouse, and I get all kinds of, you know, just whatever kind of deals that I'm getting at the time. But anyway, this is another strand of amethyst. And one thing about amethyst that help you know for sure that you got some amethyst, I'm trying to get it in the light. I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but like there's like a gold shimmering in the midst of that one right there, and throughout the strand you'll see a little bit of gold shimmering throughout it. Amethyst is known to have like gold veinous like deposits throughout it, but it's purple. This is more of like a C grade purple gemstone, amethyst gemstone, because it's more cloudy than the first one that I showed y'all. You know, the first one was like more translucent, even though it was a more opaque shade of the purple. It was more translucent than these are. But that's the purple stones, right? So I just felt like I wanted to, you know, like show you guys an example of the purple stones. This one right here, this amethyst, this, I'm supposed to be making some jewelry with this. I'm supposed to be making, I don't know. My initial intentions was to make a full set, like bracelet, necklace, and earring. But then somebody saw the purple stone and actually requested that I make something interesting for them. It was a request to make something interesting, but it wasn't a commitment to purchase. So I'm kind of stuck on it right now. If I'm just gonna make something interesting to show off, because if you're really not gonna purchase it, I'll go ahead and make a whole set into it, or I might just have to tear it down and build something different that I'm envisioning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still thinking about that, still meditating on it. But like I said, when I did my Google search on the purple stone, I was interested, you know, in seeing the very small amount of stones that are purple. So then, since amethyst was one of the main ones, I looked up amethyst just so that I could, you know, talk about it. And it's a fun fact that I just learned today. You know, generally, amethyst amethyst gets its name from the Greek word amethystos, which means not drunk. So in ancient times, amethyst was believed to have the power to prevent drunkenness and keep the wearer quick-witted in both business and battle. You can't make this stuff up, okay? But what I wanted to do was reflect on the spiritual meaning of it. So let me go there. Amethyst, with its deep purple hue, holds rich spiritual meanings. It's often associated with spiritual awareness, wisdom, and transformation. Historically, it's been linked to royalty, healing, and protection. In spiritual practices, it's used to enhance intuition, calm the mind, and facilitate deeper meditation. Okay, so the one card that was in the Soul Helper Oracle deck that offers the amethyst stone as one of the helpers is the card number 5, which it says it's time for a change. Do not wait or put off your decisions any longer. And in those readings where I was referring to the purple stone, it was like pretty much confirmation that, you know, your best next move is to move forward, you know, like embrace the change but stay the course, you know, so that you can get to your desired goal, your desired outcome or whatever. I put my glasses on, y'all. I put my glasses on so I can look up here. I got my little notes jotted all over the wall. And the color purple, as far as it goes in the tarot, represents intuition and spirituality. Okay, so like I kept saying in those readings that I was on, it's just something about that purple stone. So in the book where, you know, about the number 5 card, it says everything within you is calling out for change, as is your soul. Now momentum is in the air and new paths await. Change occurs through change. Break down any rigid structure that can restrict you and hold you back. Begin with changes that are easy for you, such as cleaning the house or throwing out old things that you no longer need. Ask the hairdresser for a different cut or buy yourself something new to wear. Do something daring, something crazy, something that you have always wanted to do. Then find some like-minded people to share it. Change is more fun if you enjoy it. If you enjoy it with others who also want to alter something in their lives. Talking about it will give you further impetus and strength. Now is the time. Wait no longer. This life is too beautiful to be wasted with avoidance tactics and by putting things off. Otherwise, it could pass you by unlived. Begin with simple things and the bigger issues will change by themselves. The key is not to give up. Change something every day and you will see how wonderful things can happen. You are standing on the threshold of a gate of light. If by embracing change you manage to pass through this gate, it will herald the start of a whole new understanding of yourself. Be ready to face everything you find difficult to change. All the dark habits that are like pitfalls, ready to trip you up on your soul path. You hold in your hand a great opportunity with this card. Free yourself from self-imposed constraints and you will realize that many things are not what they seem. So the helpers for that card is the power animal is a phoenix. That's the phoenix rising out of the ashes, baby. The herbal essential oil is pine. Pine is very stimulating. Just the smell of it. The healing crystal is the amethyst and the number is 5. And I got my number chart up here in my notes. I got the numerology and tarot and numerology and as it pertains to biblical meanings as well. So in tarot, change represents challenge, shock, like a shock wave or conflict. Challenge, shock, all a shock wave or conflict. And as it relates to in the Bible, it reflects meditation and sacrifice. What do you do when you face challenges? What do you do when something shocks you and awes you? It hits you like a shock wave. So when something is causing conflict, what do? You know, you stop, you pray, and you begin to understand what it is that you have to release in order for you to be able to effectively move forward towards your desired goal, your desired outcome. It's just beautiful. I had that card set there because I needed a background so I could make sure y'all can see the colors in those crystals good. But while I was fooling with the cards and getting myself together, simply to talk about this number 5, and it's real cute how this correlates with the messages that's come about as a result of the things that I jotted down that evening before I started this series of recordings. It just goes hand in hand. It's like, you know, the time is now, success and completion is within reach, you know, and it's not the time to give up, it's the time to thrust forward, and so on and so forth. This just falls right in line with those readings. But these two particular cards fell out also, and this card fell out in one of the other readings that I did in this series. But this is the number 12, and it says a new strategy is required. Find the path to love and happiness. And the only way you're gonna really be able to find the path to love and happiness is if you are willing to embrace change. And the first change that you need to be willing to embrace is you need to change the way that you love yourself, the way that you appreciate yourself, the way that you see yourself existing and contributing to society in, you know, in yourself. You need to be able to reflect directly on you so that you can appreciate who you are in order to be ready to receive the love that you desire. Only way you're going to get that love that you desire is if you're willing to give it, and you got to be willing to give it to you. That's what I'm trying to say. But then this card fell out in the reverse. And usually in this deck, when these cards fall out in the reverse, it simply says to pay extra attention to that card. But this is the number 23, and it says release your inner rebel, be yourself and create your own universe. But when I read the card, it was like, no, it fell out in reverse because for some reason you refusing to let go of being willing to conform to what we call social norms that's socially acceptable. We're refusing to do something different, dance to a different beat, you know, express life, love, joy, and happiness, completion, abundance in a different way. It's like we're refusing to creatively be who we are actually, and that's a hindrance for us. So embrace the change and be willing to change. Like, I don't know any better way to say it. But this number 12, that breaks down to a 3. And then this number 23 breaks down to a 5. That 5 brings us right back to that 5. But 3, as it relates to tarot card meaning and biblical meanings, tarot card, it reflects abundance, fertility, and expansion. And in biblical terms, it refers to new life, resurrection, and new beginnings. So abundance, fertility, and expansion, new life, resurrection, and new beginnings. Same difference. Same difference. Okay? So you got to be willing to embrace that change in order for you to obtain that that abundance, fertility, and expansion, that new life, that resurrection, and the new beginnings. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk to y'all about, because that purple stone, baby, I'm trying to tell you, that purple stone was just steady. So, okay, I found some content to bring to y'all about that purple stone. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you all for tuning into this episode of Coded Intuition. I hope there was some inspirational information you received from this message. And until next time, stay blessed, you guys.